Good morning. Welcome to Real Talk with the Vagina Doc. I am Jocelyn, your host this morning, and today I want to talk about what is missing when a person fails to build a habit. I apologize for the background noise. I'm literally being chased out everywhere in my home. The roofers are working on the roof, banging away. And I'm in my garage, and I still hear the roofers and the trimmers, I swear. Anytime I'm trying to talk or have a video session with someone, they're there. But landscape is beautiful, I don't have leaks, so I can't complain. So back to the topic. What is missing when someone fails to build a healthy habit? Whether that's diet or a healthy eating habit, healthy eating patterns, exercise, and even rehab. This is also missing in a lot of people that don't have success with their rehab. And that is integrity, personal integrity. What do I mean by that? What are you doing when no one is watching? When no one's home to witness, hey Mark, when no one is home to witness that you taking a spoonful of peanut butter, or when now that we're in the coronavirus, social distancing, your gym's closed. What are you doing to create or stay consistent to the habit? So it's a lot of asking questions about your character. For me, right now, I invested in a business mastermind. I ended up spending more money than I even want to admit on this business mastermind. And the first training was on principles of success in entrepreneurship. And our coach asked us, what are you going to do when no one is watching? How are you going to move your business forward? With healthy habits, you have to show up every day. And it's not about when you are in front of your coach. So let's say if you have a personal trainer, a diet, a registered dietitian, a therapist, whether that's a physical therapist or a mental health provider. What are you doing when you leave there? And what are you going to do when the going gets tough? Are you going to just say, it's just one day. I'm not going to show up. I'm just going to eat this one thing. Or are you going to say, no, I made a promise to myself and I'm going to see this through? So personal integrity means being honest with yourself when no one else is there to catch you, and being honest with the goal-setting processes. So back to my business, is I set these lofty goals, and since September 2019, I've had to break those goals down and change them up so that they were achievable. So if your goal is your postpartum and you want to run a marathon, in your 6 weeks postpartum, I think we need to break that down of, okay, you want to run a marathon, but let's run a 5K first. And then your coach, let's say if you have a coach, if I'm your coach or if I'm your physical therapist, it's my job to direct you to realistic goals. And then you have to do your inner self work of setting realistic expectations. Like, okay, I have an hour a day to dedicate to myself. That hour can't just go to physical development towards my runner goal, because there has to be some mental growth here too, which I would walk you through. And there has to be planning of how you are going to fuel your body to be able to execute the physical tasks. So we get on a call and we write the steps down. You write your goals down and the week goals and then the action steps to get there. But then we get off the call and it's all on you. What are you going to do when you're exhausted? You missed your alarm. You woke up late. How are you going to stay honest with yourself? Because at the end of the day, the only person that really matters is you, not me as your coach, not me as your physical therapist. Yeah, there are times when coaches and physical therapists, any professionals that are giving advice, are not doing their part. But oftentimes, if you have a good coach, it's what you as the person that has the goal, or what you're doing when no one's watching. It's pretty simple. So let's say you want to run, we establish you want to run a 5K. And we establish that the 3 pieces are staying healthy here, eating enough. You've got the sleep down, but if you didn't, that would be part of it. And then now it's building healthy habits. So we identify barriers. Okay, let's say if you sleep in and you miss your window of time to yourself. Okay, what's your secondary plan? You're going to run at night. You're going to go to bed. You're going to do it. You're going to find time. You're going to build time, or you're going to sacrifice something else that you can. You are going to, let's say, okay, you didn't miss your wake-up call, but you're tired. You don't feel like it. If it's something that is reasonable, you're getting enough sleep still, and you're just feeling lazy. Well, you're going to write down why this goal is important to you. And you're going to pretend whoever's watching you, maybe you have an internal dialogue, like say if I'm your coach or I'm your therapist, you're going to tell me, hey, I really don't want to do this. And then I'm going to tell you, well, okay, fine. It must not be that important to you. And then you're going to sit with that. But then maybe you stay in that internal dialogue a little bit more, and you're like, okay, my thought to you, or my internal indirect dialogue to you is, do you want to be that kind of person that just gives up that easily because you're tired and you don't feel like it? And hopefully you say no. You have your personal integrity is strong enough that you say, I'm the kind of person that keeps going when the going gets tough, when no one's watching to pat my back, when no one's watching to say good job. Because the reality is, not everyone's here to pat you on your butt and on your back and say good job. In fact, most of the time it's not. And when you have the stronger your internal self standards are, the easier it is to do when the going gets tough. So personal integrity is what you do when no one's watching. What standards do you hold yourself? What things do you have to do to stay true to yourself when it's not a cakewalk? This has been one of the biggest lessons to me, and something that guides my business and how I run my life, my business, my relationships, everything, is integrity. What personal integrity to me is that I'm going to show up every single day, and I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be myself. I am going to take actions to improve how my business runs every single day. Even when the going gets tough, even when I don't feel like it, even when the chocolate cake, because chocolate is my weakness, and the blue moon is sitting mocking me, I'm still going to do something, which is a whole different episode, to push my business forward. That's my personal integrity. My integrity to my clients and my patients is that I'm going to work as hard as you work. When we set goals, I'm going to stick to those goals. When we're not together, I'm still working really hard in order to provide the best service, care, coaching that I can for you. And sometimes it's really just, I don't feel like it. I'm exhausted, or I'm being pulled in other directions. But that's the type of principle, that's the type of person I want to be. I want to be the person that keeps going when the going gets tough. When it's not all easy, even though, coronavirus is hitting, I'm still pushing forward because it means that much to me. So when you're on any success path, whether it's rehab, fitness, diet, it starts with, well, what do you want? What's your realistic goals? And even before that, asking yourself the question, am I going to continue to show up when no one's watching me, when no one's cheering me on or pushing me, or no one's there? It's just you. The champions, we see them, we see their success, we're like, whoa, I want to be them. But we don't see all the setbacks. We don't see them throwing the basketball, down the court because they're just angry. Because sometimes, even the people with the highest integrity react and have a bad day. We don't see all of the late practices. We don't see them doing the journaling, the reflection. We don't see them losing. We just see their successes. And that goes for anything. Musicians, Michael Jordan, the basketball player, my business coach. I only see him at a success point. I didn't see him when he just started. I didn't. I wasn't even in high school. I was in high school. So that's the whole point to this live is, what are you going to do when no one is watching? And that is the biggest difference that I see when people do well with me as my patient and that don't. When I'm not in front of them, they're like, oh, I don't feel like it. Or not today. Or it's too hot. Or I'm sore. And at the end of the day, you just have, that's fine, but be honest with yourself at the end when you're asking, well, why didn't I reach my goals? So next episode, I'm going to talk about action steps. So all the different principles that it takes to reach whatever success path the end of the success path. I mean, if there is an end, what principles it takes to get there. And it all starts with foundation, and that's principles. I will see you on Thursday, 7:30 in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions or you want to chat, I do free consults. You can send me a text at 480-980-0367. You can send me an email at jocelynconleypt@gmail.com. You can send me a message on Facebook. You can send me a message on Instagram at the.vaginadoc. I have a Facebook group. It is the pelvic floor support group for female athletes and active women. And I think that's it. Have a great Thursday.